Up until this point in the unit, we've been teaching you how to use cognitive shortcuts to help users navigate your site and understand your information. This week, we're looking at the dark side of this, when designers use this skill for evil instead of good. The topic is dark patterns. So what are dark patterns? The term dark patterns was first coined by Harry Brignall, a London-based UX designer with a PhD in cognitive science. He defined it as a user interface that has been carefully crafted to trick users into doing things such as buying insurance with their purchase or signing up for recurring bills. Please note that dark patterns aren't the same as a poorly designed website. Bad UX creates a bad user experience through poor design. Bad UX is unintentional. Dark UX, on the other hand, is deliberately designed. It uses cognitive tricks against the user, making them do the thing that they otherwise would not do if they were well informed and given a choice. So why do dark patterns work? Because we skim read web pages. We can be tricked by symbols and colour. We can be misled by confusing language. We follow established conventions in interaction. We operate via shortcuts without carefully thinking about what we are doing. Dark patterns have existed since the early days of the web. Originally, they were really obvious. A pop-up window would appear on a website telling you you'd won something in a competition you hadn't even entered. And if you clicked that OK button, it would download something malicious to your computer. Now, however, they're more subtle. They use your own actions against you if you're not alert to the trickery. How often have you seen something on a checkout that says, tick this box if you do not want to receive our offers? So they phrase it in ways that are deliberately confusing. There are different types of dark patterns in UX to watch out for. First is sneak into basket. This is also called negative option billing or inertia selling. Sneak into basket is where they add extras as you check out. The extras can include hidden charges and they can be hard to understand, so the full cost isn't clear. And here is a company that I tend to avoid like the plague, GoDaddy. And here on their website, you're told you can choose 3 additional domains and save 69%. You can get the 3 extra domain names for $17. Isn't that amazing? On the next page, it then asks if you want to add privacy protection, which it prices at $7.99. Now, be aware that many other domain registrars will add it for free, so make sure you do shop around for that. Now, it doesn't clearly explain that this is for each domain, not a total of $7.99 for all 4 domains. So it actually costs $31.96. On the next page, we have a number of things suddenly jumping into our checkout basket unrequested. Rather than registering the domain name for 1 year, it has automatically changed it to 2 years for each of the 4 domains. Now our price has jumped to $154 instead of the $17 that is promised on the first page, just by sneaking extra things into our checkout basket. The next type of dark pattern is the Roach Motel, so named because of the slogan of this particular brand of roach killer, which is roaches check in, but they don't check out. A Roach Motel is designed so that it is very, very easy to sign up, but almost impossible to cancel a membership. And here is a really good example. Amazon. If you want to cancel your account, you might think that you would just go to youramazon.com to have a look at your profile, your membership. But in fact, you have to click help. Then you need to click on need more help. Then you need to click contact us. Then you need to choose Prime or something else. It's not so intuitive. Then you go to please make a selection. Choose login and security. Then choose make a selection. Here you can finally choose close my account. But wait, there's still another step. You can't close it automatically. You need to contact Amazon by email, phone or live chat so they can talk you out of it. Finally, it sends an email in only 10 not so simple steps. The next category is privacy zuckering, named after Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. Privacy zuckering makes privacy settings so complex that users inevitably share more data than intended. So by making it difficult to control your privacy settings, you share more information, then they sell your personal information, and that is worth a lot of money. In fact, data brokerage has been dubbed the new oil. It's worth so much. This can have serious consequences for you. For instance, in 2018, Grindr released their users' HIV status to third parties who wanted it for advertising. If a product is free, the thing to remember is that you are actually the product. So here's an example. And in this, with the Facebook Privacy Basics, it does state, if you turn off partner ads, that does not delete your shared data. It just changes the ads that it shows you. Price comparison prevention. Price comparison prevention makes it very difficult for consumers to compare prices. This often involves making complicated products with different extras, making it difficult to compare them equally. This happens a lot with mobile phone plans and with insurance coverage. It used to happen in supermarkets until the ACCC made rules to make them show the unit costs. However, it doesn't always work because here's an example from the UK in 2012. It's impossible to compare the costs because one tomato sauce is measured in kilos and the other one is measured in millilitres. The next dark pattern is misdirection. Like a magician's sleight of hand, it makes you look in one direction while the website does something else. It does this by drawing your attention to one element of the page while something important is happening elsewhere. This way you don't notice the important thing because you have been misdirected. Booking with Jetstar Online gives you the choice of selecting a seat or having a seat randomly allocated to you. Choosing a seat costs extra. However, if you stick with the one that's loaded, that's allocated to you, you will still be charged that extra $5. You won't be if you click on the tiny opt-out link at the bottom of the page. Then you still receive the same seat, but you're not charged $5. Here's an example that I've had to deal with before. This is for updating your Adobe Flash Player, but it comes with a pre-ticked optional installation of McAfee. This is really common in free software. In fact, it's why we no longer recommend the FTP program FileZilla, because it tries to automatically load a whole lot of this kind of software. So whenever you're installing software, especially free software, make sure you keep an eye on every stage to check it's not trying to add other software that you don't want to your computer. Another dark pattern is hidden costs. This is where you shop online and then when you get to the final stage of checkout, there's suddenly an extra cost added. This is usually an unexpected delivery cost or a sales tax. This is an online florist shop. They advertise that the flowers are $34.99, which is very reasonable. However, when you get to the end of the checkout, they add delivery, which is $14.99. And there's also care and handling, which is another $2.99. So the total is suddenly $52.97. If you've ever purchased event tickets online, chances are you've paid a hidden cost at the end. It's typical for them to charge you for printing your own tickets instead of making it a delivery charge. Since there's no postage involved, they call it a handling charge, and Ticketek is renowned for this. The next type of dark pattern is the bait and switch. In retail, this is where you advertise an item knowing you cannot sell it. For instance, if you have incredibly low stocks and you just don't have enough, and then you try and sell the consumer another product. In web design, it's where you get the user to do an action, but when they try and do this, another less desirable action occurs. This is one that was really, really famous a number of years ago. The Windows 10 update. When Windows 10 was rolled out, users were prompted to update. There was only an OK button. So if the user did not want to update at that time, they would try and close the window by using the X button in the top right. Normally, this closes a pop-up window and cancels the action. In this case, it prompted the system to start downloading and installing the Windows 10 update. Microsoft received a huge backlash for doing this. Another type of dark pattern is what they call confirm shaming. This guilts the user into doing something they might not do otherwise. Here are some examples. Free beginner's garden guide. Start a vegetable garden. You have a look down the bottom. No thanks, I know everything about gardening. Enter your email and enjoy 15% off your entire order. No thanks, I'm not into savings. There is also disguised ads. These are advertisements that are disguised as an element on the page to trick the user into clicking on them. Softpedia is a popular site for free software downloads, but it runs a lot of ads that look more like download buttons than the legitimate download button on the site. Dafont is another one that you might have experience of. Here you can see a big download button near the font in question. However, this is an ad. The actual download button is in the far top right corner. The next type of dark pattern is forced continuity. Forced continuity is where you sign up for a free trial and you are charged unexpectedly at the end of this trial. This may be because you are not fully informed of the full price, but it can also be because there's no easy way to cancel the automatic renewal in the settings. So an example is Coursera. Now, Coursera is an excellent website for MOOCs, which are massive online open courses. However, they do not make it easy to find the free version of the courses. Your eye is led to the start free trial. And below this in small letters, you are told you can get 6 months of access for $235 US once your trial ends. The small link in the fine print, which says audit the course, is much less noticeable. Also, not many people realise that audit is the technical term for attending a class unofficially without getting a certificate at the end, which is usually the free option. Another dark pattern is friend spam. LinkedIn got into a lot of trouble with this when they started up. It was accessing people's contact lists without letting them know that it would send LinkedIn invitations to all of them. Worse, the invitations were written to imply that the person themselves sent it. It cost the company $13 million to settle the lawsuit. This actually ended up costing them less than $10 for each individual whose privacy was violated by this action. The last dark pattern we look at is trick questions. These are worded so that a quick scan makes you think they say one thing, when in reality they say something else, which is something the user is unlikely to agree to. So here's an example from Sky. At first it looks like you need to tick the box to be contacted about products, but in fact you need to tick the box to opt out of being contacted. So how do you avoid using dark patterns in your designs? First, be good and not evil. Ask yourself, is this in the user's best interest? Or is it in the website's or company's best interest? Has the user been clearly informed so that they make a choice? Is all the information offered up front? Is the choice clearly shown and easy to choose?